Local businesses struggled during the COVID-19 pandemic and after even, with so many people staying home. So in the wake of that, in Ogdensburg, some community-minded folks wanted to bring people back. They created an amazing race-style competition for teams to chase down clues at local businesses all over the city. Now, Amazing Race Ogdensburg has become an annual tradition, and we have the fortune to go compete with two of the teams this year. That's today's Story of the Day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Clarkson University, offering over 95 programs of study with campuses in the Hudson Valley, Central, and Northern New York. More at clarkson.edu.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Friday, October 20th. First up, the water crisis in Watertown is over. Water began returning to residents and businesses around 8 this morning. According to a city press release, crews fixed the water main break last night, and it's holding. Water pressure is building, but it will take time to fully restore. A boil water advisory is in place while the system returns to normal. Officials say if you plan to use water, bring tap water to a rolling boil, boil for 1 minute, and cool before using. People who need bottled or bulk water can go to one of 3 sites in the city. We have details on where to go for those on our website, ncpr.org. Clarkson University in Potsdam is beginning a reorganization process as higher education faces headwinds in finances and enrollment. The administration announced what it calls a prototype plan earlier this week. Officials say they want to double down on Clarkson's STEM focus, which could mean bad news for some liberal arts programs. Here's a story I did about the situation. In messages sent to the campus and alumni this week, university officials said they want to better position Clarkson for a STEM-focused future economy. Kelly Chisholm is Clarkson's vice president for external relations.
Opportunity for our students and our faculty is growing in the tech sector. That tech sector is growing across America. And so what we're looking at is how do we align in this prototype plan our programs so that we can align those with the student opportunities and the growing industries that are here.
Universities nationwide are struggling with declining or flat enrollment and increasing costs. Chisholm says Clarkson is using too much of its endowment to sustain day-to-day operations rather than larger strategic projects and will need to make changes. She says after a pandemic decline, Clarkson's enrollment has rebounded in most science and engineering programs. What hasn't come back are liberal arts majors, which Chisholm says accounts for just 3% of the student body.
Can we take any of our other programs that aren't STEM? Can they now become integrated with that STEM-focused future?
Chisholm says no decisions have been made yet which humanities majors, if any, could be cut. But she says current students would be allowed to finish out their degrees if their programs were sunset. The announcement of this restructuring process comes after years of concern that Clarkson was facing a tough financial outlook.
Nobody was surprised by that, but I think that many of us were surprised by the magnitude of the problem that we're in and the need for such drastic measures.
Alex Cohen is an associate professor of political science who chairs the Faculty Senate. He says faculty and students recognize the need for change, but some question how even a science and engineering university like Clarkson can get by without a strong foundation in the humanities.
Even a STEM-focused education requires some consideration of communications, of our value as human beings, of ethics, of diversity. And so I think many are struggling with how can we continue to produce world-class leaders and engineers and titans of industry and all sorts of people without that backbone.
Clarkson's potential downsizing comes after SUNY Potsdam across town announced its plans to cut up to 14 degree programs to shore up a $9 million deficit. The two universities together employ well over 1,000 people. Clarkson officials say they'll meet with faculty, staff, students, and alumni in the coming weeks. They expect decisions to be made by the end of the semester. David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio. The The theme at this year's Amazing Race Ogdensburg was peace, love, and happiness. Catherine Wheeler and Lucy Grindon joined two teams last month as they sprinted from local business to local business and raced to come in first.
It's early on a Saturday morning, and families and groups of friends are packed into the basement of Ogdensburg's First Presbyterian Church, ready to compete. Everything is a blur of tie-dye and running shoes.
Everybody's kind of excited, nervous, not really sure, scoping out the teams.
That's Megan Sovey. I'm paired up with her two kids, Ann and Dylan's girlfriend, Gabby Ott. They're returning champions.
It was a close match, but we dominated the competition. I hate to say it, but we did.
My team is mostly here to have fun together. Marcia Howe, Karen Katzman, Debbie Jansen, and Jennifer Stevenson. They're dressed up like hippies, covered in flowers and peace signs. Before we get started, they're reminiscing about last time.
What else did we have to do? Oh, we had to go to find some organic honey at the organic food store there.
Oh, and we had to do jumping jacks at Northern Physical
jumping jacks.
All day, the teams will dash around Ogdensburg. The goal is to hit every stop and be the first ones back to the church. Organizer Becky Dupree wrote all of the clues. She says local businesses really struggled during the pandemic.
So we wanted to find a way to bring business back locally. So that's why we created it. And we just kept it because we feel it's necessary for people to shop locally, not to order online all the time.
My team is zipping through the race. Every time the car stops, we all unbuckle and sprint into the business we're visiting, take a photo, and run back to the car. The clues take us to dozens of local businesses, packed restaurants, a car repair shop, multiple liquor stores,
What's that other liquor store? Schlecht liquor store. Schlecht.
and almost every pizza place in Ogdensburg.
My team remembers when Ogdensburg had more small businesses and fewer chains. Debbie says family-run shops are what make Ogdensburg feel like a community. One clue takes us to the medicine place. Debbie says when she was growing up, her mother always trusted the pharmacist here.
He knew your allergies better than you did. It's just that old family feeling.
Knowing Ogdensburg gives you a major leg up in this competition. The ladies on my team mostly grew up here and now volunteer together at the Historical Society. So the matching challenge there is easy for them.
House, is the Opera House on here? Yeah. Sandstone. There. Okay, we're good. We're right.
Megan Sovey, the mom of my group, says she looks forward to the Amazing Race each year. This year, she gets to spend the day with her two youngest kids.
I love when they want to hang out with you, and this group loves to hang out with me. It wasn't the same with my other ones. These last two love hanging out with me, and it's fun all the time. I like that they look forward to this.
The race is getting close to the end, and Megan is testing the limits of the family SUV.
Or do I take Elizabeth with every stop sign along the way? Or Franklin? Oh, I've already passed it. You're right, I didn't see that one. Good call. Jeez. Thanks for backseat driving.
Interestingly, passenger complaints are one thing our teams have in common.
This is freaking elder abuse back here. I'm getting bruised, Marsha.
Okay, how are we all feeling?
My team solves our last clue at Hosmer's Marina and races back to the church. It's in sight when they suddenly think they see another team parking the car.
Oh my God! We're on it! Go! Open the door!
We all make it inside and crash onto the couch. We win! But before we leave Ogdensburg, my team wants us to celebrate at one of the places we stopped at today.
This business name means weak and cowardly or feeble.
Wimpy! It's Wimpy! Yes, Wimpy! He's Wimpy!
Wimpy's is an Ogdensburg institution. It's been serving burgers with the same secret sauce since 1932. So the race's scheme actually worked on us. We end our day in a beloved local business. Lucy Grindon,
Catherine Wheeler,
North Country Public Radio,
Ogdensburg.
Okay, so we're here at the end of NCPR's Amazing Race, the last hours of our fall fundraiser. You count on us to bring you serious stories, important stories in the North Country that you can't hear or read anywhere else, but also fun and joyful stories, like Lucy and Catherine's story we just heard, about what people do that make the North Country special. It's impossible for this local journalism to exist without your donation, your support. People like you who care enough to give $25 or $25 a month or $250 a month. It's the last hours of our fall fundraiser. Our goal is right there in front of us. Your neighbors have given. Now you finish it up for us. You'll get entered into the drawing for a $2,000 gift card. Give now, ncpr.org/give. This is the time. ncpr.org/give. Thanks so much for all your generosity all the time for public radio. Music today by I Am Snow Angel of Lake Placid and Oscar Sarmiento of Potsdam. Have a super weekend. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.